Fred Eichler's on the phone with us. Hey, Fred, how are you?
I'm doing great. Mike, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, man, it's great to talk to you. And Fred is the host of Easton Bowhunting TV, and it's a great TV show on the Outdoor Channel. And it's so refreshing to see someone who's actually getting it.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I agree with you 100%. It's just about being out there and just sharing the outdoors with your friends and just the excitement of being around wild animals and the beautiful outdoors.
It's beautifully filmed, and the storyline is there, and that's what I love about it. One of my favorites, and probably not one of your favorites, your grizzly hunt where you had some ill fortune happen twice.
Well, and thanks for complimenting the camera work. I've got a couple of incredible cameramen, Mike Leonard and Jake Krause, do some incredible work. But I had one situation where we were on a grizzly hunt, and like anybody on a hunt like that, part of the experience is just getting there. And I was super excited through all the steps that we took just getting there, and getting in the float plane and then the boat. But one of the unfortunate accidents we had is the boat flipped on us in a river in Alaska, and the Unalakleet River, actually. And I actually almost drowned. It was kind of a bad deal. My fault wasn't wearing a life preserver. Probably should have been, but the boat was off. We were actually drifting, and the boat got caught in a sweeper. And 1 second we were afloat, the next second we were flipped upside down, and all our gear was going down the river. I lost my bow, and was kind of lucky to just come out of it with my life, to be honest. Just kind of hit an underground snag and managed to pull myself out of it. So that was a little spooky. And then here last July, we got charged by a brown bear sow with 3 cubs. And the guide actually managed to turn her when she was 8 feet away, which I still have a great deal of respect for him. Braun Kopsak, he instead of shooting the bear at 8 feet, which I would have been pretty tempted to do, he chose to shoot in front of her to try and deter the attack, and it worked. So it was definitely a jaw clencher.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about your childhood and how you were initially attracted to nature.
Good question. Just my dad, really. I've got to put a lot of that on my father. And I was raised kind of in the outdoors. We did a whole lot of camping, a lot of fishing, like a lot of young men. And I'm trying to carry on that tradition with my sons. But it was just there's nothing about the outdoors that's not to like, in my opinion. And my dad was a real naturalist. And besides just being an outdoorsman, I mean, he was really big into pointing out, every bird. And so I was, constantly, being taught the names of different birds and different plants and different trees, and kind of grew up appreciating the whole outdoors. And that kind of graduated into hunting and then bow hunting. And then I worked at some archery shops and kind of, I guess you could say, worked my way up through the ranks and spent a lot of time outdoors doing what I love to do.
It's a natural progression. When you get kids out in the woods, that's how you get kids involved, because hunting and fishing is very misrepresented, unfortunately, across the country and in the world today.
Right, I agree with you 100%. And as you know, it's the actual catching the fish or the actual getting a shot at a deer or whatever you're hunting is such a small part of the whole outdoor experience, really, that sadly enough, I think a lot of people that haven't done it miss that.
And Lord knows you love it. Hooping and hollering. It's so great to see you, because the hard work that you put into it, and you're not afraid to have a show where you say, well, we didn't get our animal this time.
Yeah, that's real to me, and I'm really proud of. I think it was neat that Easton did that, because they're kind of trying to, and that was the whole premise behind the show, is that hey, it's about the experience and being out there, and it's not at all about shooting the trophy or even whether you harvest an animal. It's just having a good time and enjoying the special outdoors that are available to all of us. We're
talking with Fred Eichler on the Outdoor Channel. It's Easton's Bowhunting. It's an incredibly well done show. It's all in the family for you. It's a family passion. I know your wife, she serves with the Archery Trade Association, doesn't she?
Yes, sir. She's on the board there, and her father actually started Muzzy Broadheads, and she's now the president of the company. She's a very involved bow hunter herself. And
you get all kinds of cool free stuff, don't you?
Buddy, wasn't that a huge perk? I tease her and tell her I married her for free broadheads.
Yeah,
but
right.
She flips it on me and says, well, you're an outfitter. I married you so I could go on free hunts. And I'm not real good at math, but I figured out that she's getting a little better deal than I am.
Right on. Yeah, she knows. She keeps track of it, I'm sure.
That's right.
With your family, you've done all kinds of great adventures. You have a wonderful TV show. You run a great outfitting company out of Colorado. The outdoors, obviously, is your life. You're a great photographer. You've written numerous articles. Let's talk about what you do in Trinidad, Colorado. You're one of the biggest hunting operations out west.
I've got some really great guys working out there with me. We've been running an outfitting business for the last 15 years. And, we have an absolute blast. We take about 150 guys a year for everything from elk, mule deer, antelope, black bear, mountain lion, and turkey. And just basically we guide 10 months a year. It's a full-time, gig for us. The Jake Krause and Cam Keeler and Dick Loudon and a couple of guys that are working full-time there with me. We just have a blast. They all share the same passion that I do for the outdoors. And, it's really a team effort, and we've been fortunate to have some absolutely great guys come out there, and we get a lot of repeat clients, and that means a lot to us. It's just, like you say, it's just kind of continuing that outdoor tradition, and there's a lot of people all over the country that love it just as much as you and me, Mike.
Oh, absolutely. Check out Full Draw Outfitters online. And what are some of your favorite hunts? Your favorite hunts to go on every year? What can't you miss? Like, I can't miss, honest to God, I can't miss the opening of squirrel season in August 1st.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I have to go.
I grew up chasing those with my dad. But for me, there's a lot of favorites. Like you, antelope season is always, held a special place in my heart. It's something that you're usually alone. You're in a small little box. I call it the sweat box because
right.
that's what it is. For 15 hours, you sit in a small little blind in the hot sun, waiting for an antelope to come to water, and it's a lot of kind of neat alone time. I kind of like that a lot. Elk hunting is always just a rush. When you've got a bull screaming his head off and you're interacting with him. Turkey season. Wow, it's tough to pick one, buddy. It's
right.
Whatever I'm chasing at the time, I'd probably.
That's the best. You get up and you say, "I hunt." That's it. What's some of your most memorable hunts through your life?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Some of them, surprisingly enough, have been ones where I was guiding other people. I really enjoy guiding kids in Colorado. I've had a neat opportunity to guide some of the sons and grandsons or granddaughters of clients, and that's always really special to me, seeing the kids light up, and whether they harvest something or not, just being able to open their eyes to some new experiences outdoors. Taking my sons out, that's always really special. I had my son Trent. He was 6 months old. He was in the blind with me and my wife when I shot a turkey, and wow, that's a toughie, boy. Hunts with my wife have been incredibly special, and I really crave the really hardcore hunts. I think that's something that I've always really enjoyed.
Right.
The ones that are just physically and mentally exhausting. A Dall sheep hunt or even a backpack hunt for mule deer or elk. Those have always been it's been a real passion of mine, is to really push yourself physically and mentally. And as you know, a lot of hunts, even a whitetail hunt can do that. Anything. Depending on the conditions.
Yeah, I go on pheasant hunts. If I walk a mile and a half, I'm spent. So the older you get, the harder it is.
Yes, sir.
And chasing dogs is not easy. Well, go to FullDrawOutfitters.com, folks, and book just the adventure of a lifetime with our friend Fred Eichler. And what advice do you have, Fred, for those of us who want to promote the sport to kids today? And what do we need to do as a hunting and fishing collective to ensure that the wonderful, wonderful lifestyle we lead flourishes into the next generations?
Well, in my opinion, it's just promote the outdoors and the sport itself. As you pointed out, it's not about killing the biggest or even harvesting an animal. It's about time spent outdoors. So I really think the emphasis should be, whether it's your kids or whether it's a new person that you're introducing to hunting, any type of hunting, is that hey, it's about the whole experience, and don't hang a successful hunt. Don't make the criteria for a successful hunt be the actual harvesting of an animal or the catching of a fish. Just enjoy the sunrises and the sunsets and the whole experience, and I think the rest will take care of itself. And just getting new people involved, whether that's your coworker at work or your neighbor's son that doesn't have the time or daughter, and just try and get as many people involved in the sport that we love so much, and that'll help continue it on for the future.
You got it. Well, Fred Eichler, host of Easton Bowhunting TV, go to www.hunttv.com. Also check out FullDrawOutfitters.net. You keep doing what you're doing, man. We certainly appreciate it.
Sure, Mike.
We're with you. Fred Eichler, check him out if you haven't. He is what we need more of in the great outdoors.